About 3 weeks ago, I received the Tokqi MO2 3-axis smartphone gimbal, which I ordered from AliExpress. Since then, I've had enough time to test it out, and in this video, I'll be sharing my honest thoughts based on real-world use. The package I chose came with the gimbal itself, a mini tripod stand, the AI tracking module, and a fill light, but depending on the seller, there are different bundle options. Stay tuned as I take you through my experience using the MO2 gimbal, what worked, what didn't work, and whether or not I would recommend it. Let's dive in. The main body of the MO2 gimbal is made of plastic, with rubber grips inside the phone holder for comfortable handling and aluminum rivets and screws for added durability. Although it falls within the budget-friendly category, the build quality feels surprisingly solid. It doesn't feel cheap at all. In fact, it has a bit of weight to it, which gives the impression of using a much more expensive piece of gear. I got mine for about $61 on AliExpress, which is quite affordable compared to most smartphone gimbals out there. In its fully extended position, the gimbal stands at about 22.5 cm tall, and when folded, it reduces to about 15 cm. This compact design makes it easy to carry around. It can even fit into larger pockets and also comes with a carry pouch, which is great for portability, so overall I would say it's pretty pocket friendly. The buttons are well positioned and they respond quickly. The joystick is also easily reachable, but I personally would have preferred the handle to be a little longer, especially for users with larger hands. Thankfully, the gimbal includes a foldable tripod stand, which you can screw it in to extend the handle to make it more comfortable to grip. Speaking of mounting, it uses a 0.5mm screw hole, which is versatile enough to attach to other accessories. Now onto the AI camera and fill light. They do fit onto the gimbal, but I wouldn't call the connection super secure. They are not exactly loose though, but I've had a bit of trouble with the fill light especially. Sometimes it doesn't power on immediately after connecting it, and I have to keep adjusting it slightly before it turns on, and there are times I just give up. The AI camera connects more reliably, although I still wished both modules had a firmer and a more intuitive connection system. So here's what I found after actually using the Tokqi MO2 gimbal for a few weeks. First off, yes, the stabilization is very good, but only if you use it right. I used to think that buying a gimbal would automatically give me super smooth footage. Turns out, it takes a bit more effort than that. You have to use the right mode for the right kind of shot, otherwise you might even get better results just holding your phone in your hand. And when you get the setup right, the MO2 gimbal performs beautifully. To set it up, first unlock the middle joint by unscrewing the aluminum rivet on the left side. Then unfold the gimbal and screw it back in. Hold the handle, twist the joints to the right and unlock all the axes. It's actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it. To power it on, you can either hold the mode button on the front or long press the power button at the back. Once it starts, you would hear a beep and the screen lights up. Make sure to insert your phone before powering it on, following the arrow inside the clamp. Also keep the gimbal upright so that it calibrates properly. There's a blue light at the top left of the screen. That's for Bluetooth. If it's blinking, it means your phone is not connected. If it's solid, then you are good to go. Below that is the battery indicator. And beside are the gimbal modes. The MO2 gimbal gives you 4 different shooting modes: PF, AF, AL, and FV. Each one is designed for a specific type of movement, and knowing when to use which mode makes all the difference. Let me break them down simply. PF mode means pan follow. This is the default mode you have when you turn on your gimbal. When you are in PF mode, the gimbal follows your movements left and right, but logs the tilt, which is the up and down. Using the letter on the wall as a reference, if you turn your hand left or right, your camera pans smoothly. But if you move your hand up or down, the gimbal tends to ignore that. It's perfect for cinematic pans, slow walking shots, or anything that needs smooth side-to-side motion without any vertical shake. AF, which is also called all follow. Now in AF mode, things open up a bit. The gimbal follows both pan and tilt, which is the left and right, and then also the up and down. This mode is ideal when you are tracking a subject that moves in multiple directions. AF mode makes sure that the camera moves fluidly to follow every direction. It's more dynamic but also requires more control so that your movements don't become too aggressive. AL or O-lock. As the name says, everything is locked. No matter how you move the gimbal, the camera stays fixed within one direction, almost like a tripod in your hand. This is great for shooting interviews, product shots, or scenes where you want total stability and zero drift. If you are doing time lapses or you need to hold your composition steady for a long time, this is your go-to mode. FV or the first person view. FV mode is for when you want full freedom of movement. The gimbal responds to every little motion, side to side, up and down, and even slight tilts or twists of your wrist. This mode is great for fast-paced action, point of view shots, or when you want the footage to feel more immersive or energetic. It's not really beginner friendly though, and any small handshake will show up in your footage. But with practice, it's a very creative tool. So yeah, these modes aren't just random settings. They can completely change the feel of your video. Once you understand what each mode does, you'll start to see what kind of shots you can create, and that's when the real fun begins. What about the battery life? Honestly, no complaints. It lasts me more than a full day with no issues. It can get slightly warm, but not dangerously hot. Just know that it doesn't support fast charging, so you will need some patience to get a full charge. The MO2 has a companion app on both Android and iOS. It gives you more features like face tracking, dolly zoom, object tracking, and more. I personally prefer using my phone's default camera app, but it's nice to have the option. One weird thing I noticed though is that sometimes the gimbal's Bluetooth connects even when the gimbal is turned off. It's not a deal breaker though, but it's just strange because it still tends to pull power even though you've powered off the gimbal. Overall, I'll say that the gimbal is pretty beginner friendly. If you've never used a gimbal before, there's a bit of a learning curve. But once you get through it, it's smooth sailing. Alright, now let me show you how exactly each of the modes looks in real world use, because specs are cool but performance speaks louder. Here's a shot using PF mode or pan follow. Notice how the camera moves smoothly to the left and then the right as I shift directions, but stays steady when I move up or down. It's great for simple tracking shots like this one. Now in AF mode, the gimbal follows both horizontal and vertical movements. This gives you more freedom, especially if you are filming someone going upstairs or moving around in all directions. It feels a lot more dynamic. In all lock mode, the gimbal locks everything. No matter how I move my hand, the camera stays locked in the same direction. This is perfect for interviews, static product shots, or time-lapse setups. Heavy mode is the most intense. It follows every twist and tilt of your wrist. This makes it ideal and energetic for first-person style shots, but it's definitely not for shaky hands. Use this when you want to get creative. Here, I tested the AI tracking module with decent lighting. It follows my face pretty well. The gesture controls also responds okay. Not 100% reliable, but for simple auto tracking shots, it gets the job done. I also tried the included fill light. It's not super bright, but it can help with low light environments. Just don't expect studio level lighting. So that's a quick look at how the MO2 gimbal actually performs in action. Now let's wrap this up with my final thoughts. After about 3 weeks of using the Tokqi MO2 gimbal, I can say that it's worth it for the price. Solid build, good stabilization, and decent features like AI tracking and the fill light. It's not perfect. The lighting is weak and the handle could be longer, but overall, it's beginner friendly and budget friendly. If you want a smoother footage without breaking the bank, this is a good pick.